Very good afternoon to you. We start with breaking news, and the taxi driver who dropped off the Southport killer Axel Rudakubana at the dance class where he murdered 3 young girls has told the inquiry into what happened that he regrets not calling the police more quickly. Gary Poland didn't make that emergency call for 50 minutes. Today he admitted he drove away in panic. Let's go live to Liverpool. Sky's Katie Barnfield. Katie, what more have we heard?
Well, Gary Poland was challenged repeatedly this morning at the inquiry about why he didn't immediately call the police, even when he thought an attack was happening and even saw children running away. It was, in fact, 50 minutes before he called 999 after leaving, driving away, picking up another fare, calling his friend twice and then going home. Now, Nicholas Moss, the counsel to the inquiry, said the families of the girls who died and those who were injured would want to understand why that was. Now, footage from inside Gary Poland's taxi shows Axel Rudakubana sitting behind him before leaving without paying his fare. Gary Poland then shouted at him before watching him going into the building. He then told the inquiry he thought he heard 4 or 5 gunshots, loud noises he thought at the time were gunshots, and then quickly drove away. And in his statement to the inquiry, Gary Poland says he panicked and fled for his own safety, saying he was in mortal terror at what he thought was happening. Now, the inquiry counsel, Nicholas Moss, pointed to dashcam footage from inside his taxi, saying, "Do you accept that as you were driving away, children were fleeing? They were alongside your car?" To which Gary Poland said, "Yes." Mr Moss continued, "You could clearly be seen looking in your rearview mirror and more children were fleeing." Gary Poland said, "Yes, I think 4 or 5, I would say." At this stage, Gary Poland didn't call the emergency services and instead called his friend Julia Medlock, who worked on the same road. And the inquiry was shown a transcript of that call where Gary Poland tells his friend, "I think he shot some people," referring, of course, to Axel Rudakubana, and saying he said it was lucky it wasn't him. Mr Moss asked him, "On this call, did you ask after the girls in any way, whether they were injured or whether they were OK?" Gary Poland replied, "No, because I drove off, because I heard gunshots." Mr Moss said, "You didn't call Mr Medlock back to ask if the girls were OK? Has anyone been injured? Has anyone called 999? You didn't do any of that?" Gary Poland said, "No, I don't think so." And the inquiry was told that Gary Poland went on to accept another fare, which he said he did by mistake, but he continued with the 15-minute journey anyway. And it was only when he returned home after talking to his wife, he then made a call to 999. In his statement to the inquiry, he said he should have called the police earlier, saying, "I regret not helping the children. There isn't a day that passes that I don't think about what happened and the what-ifs." Mr Moss said it could be suggested the main cause of your delay was that you were preoccupied with what had happened to you and your lucky escape, and not what had happened to the girls. After a long pause, Gary Poland replied, "Yeah, looking back now, if I could change things, I would." The inquiry, of course, will continue to examine the circumstances around the attack that, of course, led to the death of those 3 girls in Southport, and it will continue taking evidence this afternoon.